So, Paul,
Thank you.
did something happen that sparked this? Just did you just say at one point, "Hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be this person. I want to be a different person."
Yeah, definitely. So where I found my lowest point, I was driving a fast car, 5:30 in the morning. I was driving to my typical like fitness boot camp, tears running down my face. Felt lost, trapped, frustrated, and I say pissed off. More so with myself for allowing myself to live what was it, 46 years, or at least 20 years of my corporate life in jobs and environments that I really didn't enjoy, surrounded by people wearing masks, in my opinion, lots of fakery, lots of BS. You know, people would hop from meeting to meeting, saying a completely different thing from the previous meeting. And I couldn't tolerate it anymore. And I was like, do you know what? I need to speak up, and I also need to transform myself. I need to get myself out of that environment. Because the problem was my coping mechanism was alcohol. You know, um, I was numbing myself, sedating myself, however we want to describe it, to tolerate the situation I got myself into. But you know, at some point, you need to take full ownership, right? Nobody's going to come to save us, as we know. Um, so, as I say, driving this fast car, and that was my point. And it was like, you know, did I want to die? I definitely felt that there was no value to be me being here or not being here, basically. Um, you know, so that was the point, and I knew I had to change not just one thing, but a lot of different things. And I can't remember what happened first, but basically, I spoke to the Samaritans. I think you got the same over there. Have you, like the charity uh, people that you ring if you're in trouble, if you're struggling? Yeah.
Yeah, we have like a 866 number that you call. Yeah.
Yeah, similar type of thing. Spoke to a guy. So I was in the car park of this fitness boot camp. We spoke for about 10 minutes. I can't really even remember what we talked about. Um, uh, Moved away from that conversation. And it's in that moment, but it felt very powerful. It felt far more than what was normal. It felt like it's almost like a thunderbolt from above. Felt really powerful. Felt it in my body. Felt it in my chest. It even gives me hairs on the back of my neck now when I describe it, because it was almost like this powerful transformation moment that this is your time, you know, and you can't wait any longer. And literally from that moment, I quit booze. I left the corporate role with no plan B. Didn't know what I was going to do, which was exciting but scary as well. You know, very, very, very kind of concerning as well. But I had an inner belief and inner faith that this is the right move, and this is what I need to do. Then closely on top of that, within a very short period, I lost lots of weight because I was, I think for you guys, it's about 100 pounds, 100 pounds overweight. I lost all that. I didn't know what I was going to do next, but what I did do, I immersed myself in personal development. I went to all the personal development stuff to basically go deep within, and find out who I truly was, what my values were, what I'm here for. You know, kind of did the hero's journey. What's my gift? What am I here for? Um, and soon enough, I'm pumping everything into a laptop. You know, all the tips, tools, hacks that I'm learning along the way, how to save myself, fix myself, heal myself, transform myself. And all of a sudden, you know, I said, you know what? Why don't I help that guy? Why don't I help who I am, who I was? So after about 9 months of all this stuff, that was it. I just reached out to that guy. I knew very well who he was. I found it easy to communicate with him. I found it easy to find who he was. I spoke his language. I knew exactly where he was. And already by that stage, I had the tools and the vision to be able to help that guy, you know, and that's it. And I basically, this is now 6 years later. I've been helping that guy continuously. That's a big part of my why, my purpose. I'll never let him down, um, because I felt let down at that time. So I need to be there for him, for that guy. And that's it. As I say, I've been doing it since my. It's a, what I help people with is mindset transformation. The easiest way to describe it. You could call it. You could say there's an umbrella of fitness, holistic fitness in terms of, mind, body, spirit. Do a lot of mindset work. Do a bit of NLP in there. Help guys with weight loss, dramatic weight loss transformation. To quit booze, quit substances. But the main, I'd say, interpin between all of it is mindset. I help them with the central hard disk, if you will, of the of what we're all about, and that's it really. And once we started speaking, I was super interested to come on here because there's a slight spiritual element to our conversations already, and it's like, you know what, this is just another situation of those synchronicities. This is purely come to me for a reason, and we're here. And as you said at the beginning, there was no script. We didn't know what we were going to talk about, but we knew that it was going to be right. So here we are.
So when you're doing the mindset, what are you changing old habits with new, better habits? Is that how you're doing the mindset change?
Yeah, basically rewiring the brain, basically pattern interrupting the patterns and the processes and the behaviors that have been going on. Redressing identities as well. We talk about lower self and higher self. We get very clear on the different versions of the lower self and higher self. My lower self would have been that guy, when he was at his lowest point. And it's really interesting when the guys start with me, they can describe the lower self in extreme detail, because that's where they've been living for however that period of time is, right? They know that guy very well, and then when we talk about like higher self, they're like, I'm struggling here. It's like a question mark. There's a mystery man. I don't really know who he is anymore. And I'm like, okay, if you're struggling with that, let's go back to when's the last time you smashed it? When was the last time you nailed it? When's the last time you did something amazing? When were you in flow? When were you, had the Midas touch? Describe that guy, And we start there, and then all of a sudden they realised, you know what? I haven't been that lower self or struggling all the time. You do a lot of work on values, things like that, and remove the blockers. Essentially, is the sort of biggest thing. And the vision for the future as well. We put a big plan in place of, across the 5 pillars of Ember, which we talk about. Ember as in the little spark. I describe it as I lost my fire back then. And the idea is that we're getting the fire back together. We're like a couple of kids in we call it Scouts over here, where we're rubbing the sticks together and the flame is start coming back again, and raising that fire in the belly. And then helping the person have vision, and really seeing that it's possible to go a different path and move away from that old life.
Sadly, people can't wrap their head around to progress as a human. You can't stay where you're at. You can't keep doing the things you're doing. You have to become a different person.
100%.
You can't stay the same person and progress. We have to continuously keep changing, and that's especially in small towns. You hear it all the time. Oh, I don't like change. I don't like change. Well, then
Yeah.
you're not going to go anywhere else than where you're at right here. This is going to be it.
Yeah. That's the great thing of the internet as well. I've got clients from all over the world, and you're right. My typical guy probably lives in a small town where there's, people are copying each other. They're behaving in the same ways. They're not trying anything new. There's a tall poppy syndrome where if they're trying to do something different to other people, people start undermining them, questioning them, and who do you think you are, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, definitely, you're right there.
How many friends and family did you lose along this journey? Because see, I
Yeah,
knew it.
yeah, man. Yeah, we call it the 555, where we're continuously reviewing who our people are, and I mean, the first thing is with booze, right? Like, if you remove booze from your life, all of a sudden you have a good look and you say, do you know what? Who are my real friends once booze is out of the way? Are they just drinking partners, or are they real true friends? And you're right, it's like continuous evolution, even over the 6 years, even now, like, but I've got zero, I'm going to say zero tolerance, as in, we quickly know instinctively who our people are. We know the vibe, we feel the feeling, we feel the instinct. And do you know what? If I'm with somebody who I'm not vibing with, it's cool. It's fine. We go different ways. Much love, but it's okay. We've got so many billion people in the world, right? And it's we can't get on with everyone, and that's fine. Absolutely fine, not a problem. Family, we didn't choose family, I think is the best way I can describe this, right? I've got a huge Irish family and we don't all get on. And again, that's okay. That's fine. So
Yeah, I never believed that, people say blood's thicker than water and you have to stick with this guy because he's family. I say we pick our family. I don't think we can go through life and just stay with these friends and family because they're friends and family when a lot of them are toxic for you.
yeah, yeah, definitely. There are one or two that, really struggling to see eye to eye with. And again, that's okay. We just it's almost like we're talking a different language, we're talking a foreign language, we're vibing differently. And there isn't any judgment, there isn't any superiority, inferiority. We're just different, and that's okay. But you're right, the toxicity thing, I'm very strong on those boundaries. If there is toxicity, if there's people around me talking about the news all the time, talking about negative stuff, talking about problems, issues, I'm like, you know what? It's all good if you want to carry on with that yourself, but I'm out of here. See you later.
Yeah, yeah. And we're the same way. We try to attract you call it frequency.
Yeah,
Once you're on this frequency, people that aren't on that frequency just don't, immediately, you can feel it. Uh, and we're not interested in the same things you were talking about. Sitting around watching news all day long or talking about the news all day or, just talking about people. And I always think about, I don't know who said it. It was a woman that said it. Or big minds talk about ideas, medium minds talk about things, and small minds talk about people.
people.
And when you think about
Totally.
that, it makes a lot of sense because you hear people talk and a lot of them are just talking about other people. They don't know what else to talk about.
100%. Yeah, and we say in the coaching world as well, on social media, if you haven't got a few haters, you must be doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And again, that's okay.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to. The message isn't for everybody, and if we polarize some people, if we push certain people away, and they choose to, disagree, or again, that's fine, not a problem.
Yeah. I know I went through this maybe, I guess 15 years ago. I just got really big into fitness and health, and I started trying all these different healthy recipes. And I'd go to a family picnic or whatever, and I'd try to take these healthy recipes, and then I wouldn't eat their garbage, the cakes and pies and pastas. I wouldn't eat that. Try to pick through the healthy stuff, and I wasn't pouring down 10 beers throughout the picnic, and people got mad at me.
Yeah,
Oh, what's wrong with you? You're acting like a weirdo. And it's just incredible to see. I guess it's kind of like the misery loves company thing.
yeah,
They want you down there eating all this junk food and pouring down this alcohol with them. That's where they
yeah,
they want to keep
yeah,
all
yeah,
their friends.
yeah, yeah,
So it's just interesting. It's always interesting to me to see when somebody breaks out of that mold or whatever you want to call it, and goes on with their own life and finds their own purpose. I love that.
yeah, yeah,
It's one of the best things to see. It just makes you feel good inside to know that this person was in a really bad place and they decided not to be that person anymore. They want to be a better person, and they go and find that despite all the adversity and all the hate.
yeah, man. I get called weird all the time, and that's okay. That's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah, yeah. And it's my kind of weird, even with as you said, the health options. I mean, I've lost I put on weight again last year after sort of 4 or 5 years. Put on about 15, 20 pounds, and I've gone on a kind of nutrition plan that I've designed since January. And I've lost the 20 pounds, and I've got more shredded. I'm doing keto at the moment. And you're right. When you like, I went to Ireland to spread my sister's ashes a few weeks ago. So I was with family. Yeah, I was staying with family, and they were watching my habits with keto, and they were like, because there was seven of us in the house, and they were like, "Really? Is that what you're doing? Oh, okay." And then all of a sudden, bit by bit by bit by bit, they start, "Oh, what's that then? Let me try that. Let me give that a go. How does that work?" And it's like, okay. And there's a few of them, relatives that I'm now helping, in a good way. So it feels good. And yeah, if people are open, if people want to listen, then great. If they don't, again, it's fine. Because I think most of the time as well, and that was me back then, when you just seem to you have your priorities all wrong, but you seem to be so busy coping. You seem to be so busy, like stressed, trying to juggle everything. People pleasing is a big thing as well, isn't it? Saying yes to everybody, no boundaries. I've got a lot. Over half of my clients are people pleasers, and I know that because we do a test when they start with me. You know, and it's a big thing, and we're trying to keep everybody happy. We're trying to keep the family happy, trying to keep the bosses happy, trying to make money, etc. And all of a sudden, we're at the bottom of the pile, right? We're at the bottom of the priority list, and you know, we're then making quick, convenient decisions rather than the better informed quality decisions for our health. I mean, for me, it's easy. I've got my 6 values behind this screen here, and my top value is health, by a long way. It's way up there. My second one is inner peace. I've then got contribution. I've then got freedom. But health is, for me, it's massive. And my brain actually gets very confused when people are not making healthy decisions. It's like, why wouldn't you? Like, are you crazy? Like, this is a one thing of life that we've got. It's very precious. Why would you not give yourself the best chance of not just survival, but to thrive? So
Yeah. And I tell you, the one that drives me nuts is with kids, toddlers, and people are shoving suckers in their mouth or giving them a bag of marshmallows to snack on or whatever that is. And it's like, man,
yeah,
they rely on us to make those decisions for them, to make them healthy, give them good habits to grow up with. And so it's always disheartening to me to see that with children, especially. They just give them whatever. Here, you go eat some Cheetos and pop for lunch, and it's just it's always sad for me to see that. It kind of drives me crazy,
yeah,
um, it's been my family too, the same thing. And I kind of try to not say stuff, but there's only so much you can do because some people don't
yeah,
want to change.
yeah,
They don't want
yeah,
your advice.
yeah,
And that's okay. It's
yeah,
that's okay too. Like you said,
yeah,
sometimes you can't bring people with you. They're going to stay where they want to stay, and that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. And if people, sometimes people are not ready or they don't want to hear you, then as I say, that's okay, because the worst thing we can do in our sort of environment is trying to help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. That can be exhausting, you know.
Oh man, that'll drive you nuts really quick. I've tried it. It just uh, that doesn't work. It's
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
said, it's exhausting.
yeah. So
What
I've got a
so
few things. Yeah, sorry, go on.
have you gone through? Have you tried different diets, or have you always stayed with kind of the same? What do you stick with? Are you you
I've
said you're doing keto now?
Yeah, I've tried different stuff. I mean, first and foremost for me is calorie deficit. I'm keeping a very close eye on that, and I pump all my food choices into my Fitness Pal. I do use that. That's number one for me. Um, high protein is how I lost a fair bit of my weight first. High protein diet. Keep carbs medium and fats medium. Obviously now on the keto, I've reduced carbs a lot, and the main reason for that is the processed food type thing. Yeah, it seems like carbs is just rife, or processed foods are rife with carbs, and the whole like I even know my brain does this on carbs and processed foods. You know, the whole chemical thing and that. So I've stripped all that out, and try to eat clean, try to eat, freshly produced foods. I don't get massively scientifically involved in it, if I'm honest. I don't get, go into deep research on organic or anything like that. But I do make sure that I remove, the sugar and the processed. Sugar was a big thing for me. It was like a drug for me as well. I have one ice cream, I'll have four or five, even now. So I'm of that thing, all or nothing. I still have addictive tendencies, right? It's just the way I am. I'm kind of all or nothing, and after I remove it from the house. I ate all the ice creams, remove them from the house, don't buy them again, and that's it. But yeah, that's the biggest thing on keto for me is there's a level of consistency of energy and mind as well. There's a level of consistency rather than this, this extreme, the insulin spikes and the I'm of the opinion the higher up you go, the more you come crashing down. You'll pay for it later. You know what I mean? It will normally an afternoon crash and things like that. So I'm a lot more focused. How I know that actually, I play quite a bit of chess, and my chess has gone through the roof since I've started keto. An unusual benefit, which I was really surprised about. But yeah, a lot more focused, a lot more locked in, able to concentrate more. And as I say, less of this spiking and crashing and, hopping from one thing, almost like having about 15 windows open at the same time. It's so yeah, they're my general principles, and I keep things simple as well. I don't overcomplicate it. I eat quite a lot of the same foods, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we just try to cook everything. We just try to buy fresh, good food and cook. So we don't eat anything out of a box, macaroni and cheese or any of that stuff. We cook everything with the vegetables and good meats, and I've tried. I did holistic nutrition school, and I tried all kinds of diets. I mean, I tried because I wanted to. If I'm going to try to talk to people about diets, I wanted to know how they made me feel,
Yeah,
and if they worked. And there's really, after trying everything, there's no diet that works. Nothing. You have to change your lifestyle.
yeah,
You have to find foods that you like to eat that are healthy and eat that way. There's no magic pill, there's no diet. Now we found a supplement company called Purium, and it's USDA organic. They make something for everything. They have a joint flex. If you have sore joints, they have protein powders. They have pretty much everything you could ever need for whatever's bothering you. Biomedic for gut problems, and so we take that, and we both believe in it. It makes us feel better for sure. So
yeah. Nice.
but I've tried carnivore where I didn't eat until about 11 a.m. or something. I would just eat a steak, and then something else for dinner, maybe whatever, steak and some eggs or whatever later in the evening. And that was okay. I really don't I don't think we're all genetically different and chemically different. So what works for one person is not going to work for another person at all.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah.
when I tried the vegan, I lost a ton of weight, but I felt so drawn out and so bad from evidently the lack of protein. I just wasn't getting enough protein in, and man, after a couple weeks of that, I was ready for a steak, I can tell you that. But I don't, whatever, vegan, if you want to be vegan, that's fine. It
Yeah.
doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm not going to try to push you to eat meat, but it's just not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got plenty of guys now losing weight with me. I do a kind of program, 30-day program at the moment, and they all do different types. You know, the main thing is calorie deficit. That's the main thing. I hold them accountable on that. And I've got guys doing all sorts. And you're right, everybody's different. You know, it's for me personally, keto works mainly because of that brain chaos is what I call it. You know, that's what keeps me at it. I mean, when you first transfer over from, you know, using carbs to using fats for energy, they call it the keto flu, and that was for about a week. That was tough because your body's saying, "Where the hell is my energy coming from? You've removed my carbs. Like, where, you know, I've got no energy. Where do you want me to get it from?" So it takes a little while for the body to move over to using the fats for energy. But then all of a sudden it kicks in, and you're like, "Okay, this is how it feels." And then, as I said, you're feeling a lot calmer. You know, a lot more relaxed, and yeah, so right now, this is the third month I've been doing it. I've got a couple of clients trying it now, and you're right. What I'm open to is that I'm open that it might not work for them. Yeah, I've given them all the knowledge that I've got. I've given them the truth, 100%. You know that the first week is painful or so, providing you're able and willing to go through that. Let's give it our best shot, and you know. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But what definitely does work is calorie deficit to lose weight. It's you know, as you said, it's not about diets. It's not about, you know, a lot of the fad diets are just to make money, aren't they? That's it. Simple.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that we need I think we need environment as well, you know, epigenetics. So I think everybody should get outside.
Yeah.
Um
100%.
I just think we've become so busy and so focused on running the kids to soccer, you know, running to this class, doing this, cooking food, you know, everyone's running around and they're putting that cooking like at the bottom, and it's let me run through Wendy's or McDonald's and get this, and we'll save that cooking step, you know, when they're passing up one of the most important things in their life. The choice of what you put in your mouth is one of the most important things that you're going to choose. So, but I think people need to slow down a little bit sometimes and get outside and enjoy nature and try to just kind of get connected again. I think
I
we've
agree.
I think we've gotten disconnected from nature and looking up at the stars and just sitting at a lake and chilling out. Those things are so therapeutic. I think it's just super important to add that into your life, something that you really enjoy and something that's going to mellow you out, whatever that is.
Totally agree. My core identity is called the Peaceful Terminator, and peaceful.
Mhm.
Honestly, and first thing in the morning, I do deep meditation, and I start from a place of peace. Why? Because I know my day goes far, far better if I'm from a place of peace. And also, like you said, I take the dog out for a walk, which for me is amazing. Like, and I'm very in tune with what he's doing. I let him have his sniffs, I let him have his runs and all that stuff. But meanwhile, as you said, right next to me, I'm really lucky. I'd almost call it like a rainforest. There's a nice walk, right? Um, and I walk down there sometimes, and I'm so grateful. I feel like I look up sometimes, and I'm like, is this real? Is this even real? This is just so amazing. And you're right. The more you're in tune with that, and the more you're in tune with the universe, you know, that's one thing that's happened to me in the last couple of years. Definitely is that. Um, it's just it's just so empowering. It's just so it fills you up. And I mean everything. I mean, look at the leaves. Look at the way the sun's coming through. Listen to the birds. Feel the breeze. All that stuff. And it's almost like time slows down. You know, I think the other day this feather came floating through the air like this, and it felt like it was so slow. It felt like it was really slow motion, and I was like, "Wow, man, that's like, you know." And I'm into all the numbers as well. You know, when I see certain numbers, I'm like, and these are for me, they're all just signs of that I'm in the right place. you know, that I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right place. I'm locked in. I'm aligned, you know. Um, and it's interesting because what you described 6 years ago, I wouldn't have had a clue what you were talking about. I wouldn't have had a clue. I would have said, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Like, I'm in the hustle, man. I'm making money. You know, I'm rushing around. I'm materialistic. I'm trying to, yeah, instant gratification and build a business and grab everything I can almost. But I wasn't aware of anything around me that you've just described. Nothing. I wasn't looking at the stars. I wasn't going for walks. I wasn't walking a dog, you know. But these are the first things I do now because they keep me grounded and they keep me locked in and they keep me at peace.
And that gratitude is super important. I think it's so important to have gratitude for whatever you want to have gratitude for, everything. And that when you're out in nature and like you said, just watching the sunset or listening to the wind and the leaves and all that stuff, and just have gratitude for it that we have this beautiful place to live on and we can do whatever we want. If you want to, we have a choice every morning to wake up and be whatever person we want to be.
Yeah. And do what we
So
want to do within reason, do what we want to do. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, of course. You and I are never going to be professional basketball players or something like that, but we can choose to wake up and be a good person and help people, as opposed to a lot of people just wake up and they look for any reason whatsoever to be in a bad mood all day long.
Yeah.
And so you've seen them, you know them. So we have that choice every day to be whatever we want to be or whatever person we want to be, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. We call it drains and radiators. Yeah. The drains will drag you down, you know, and the radiators will warm you up, you know, with their vibe. And gratitude, 100%, you know. Tony Robbins quote, isn't it? Is life happening to you or for you?
That's
Big
a big
thing,
one too.
big reframe, isn't it? I say it to my wife quite a lot because, you know, now and again she might struggle to handle stuff, you know, emotion wise. Um, but I'm like, you know, what's the learning? What's the learning from this? And I do believe that the universe tests us. You know, you take the learning from it to grow. Um, and I also believe that the universe tests the people that can handle it more. So I'm like, bring it, you know, bring more tests, bring more challenges, because I just love this journey and I'll take more.
That's an awesome way to look at it. It really is, Paul. You couldn't put it any better way as to take those tests and do the best you can do with them
Yeah.
and just realize that it's for a reason.
Mm. And we
It's
won't win
all
all of
it's
them. We'll fail. We'll fail lots of them, and that's okay. That's all right because we go again. We go again. We go again. Where it's not good if you make the same mistake over and over and over. And but that's the thing that they say the universe will keep giving you the same test, right? Until you until you
how
learn
you
the
figure
lesson.
it out.
That's your punishment, right? It give you the same challenge or the same challenge, the same test.
The universe is like, hey, dummy, this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
13
yeah,
times now. Like, come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
let's get it
You want it
right.
again? You want it again? I'll give it to you again. No problem. We can do this
There's
all
a
day long or all year long.
here's a flat tire today. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Where can people get a hold of you?
Facebook, my friend.
Yeah.
That's the biggest place. Just my Facebook profile. That's where all my activity is. I am on LinkedIn or Instagram, but it's mainly Facebook. It seems to be the place where I vibe with my crew, like you said. Um, yeah, and that's it really.
Paul, it was awesome talking to you, man. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you sharing your journey. I appreciate what you're doing for people. There's no better helping people every day I don't think there's a better way to live than that, quite honestly. So,
It's my
uh,
privilege. It really is.
thanks for thanks for being an awesome human, man.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
And you, my brother.